Hi guys, I hope you're all well. So you must have seen over the last sort of month or so, I have been painting so many minis. It's untrue. I think I've probably painted the same amount of minis in the last sort of month as I have in the past few years. And that's because I'm painting up all these lovely chaps. So it's lots of Vikings, Normans, Saxons. So basically making obviously armies or war bands, as well as retinues. So I can play the awesome game Pillage, as well as Baron's War. Absolutely loving this, getting well into the sort of medieval theme of things. But yeah, as I say, painting so many miniatures because in each one of these packs is about 36, and I've done three so far. Well, I've got a fourth one currently sitting on my desk, which is great. But one thing it does mean is storage, where to put them. So I have got one of these boxes, and yeah, obviously this can store quite a lot of these awesome miniatures. But as I say, I'm painting so many more because, well, I absolutely love the look of these little chaps, and I need somewhere else to put them. So obviously, I do play a lot of Pillage now. Every other week, I sort of get a good game in. Still yet to play Baron's War. Definitely want to play this one though because I do love the idea of knights. But it is now a case of where to store these lovely little people. I thought rather than buy another case, I would make one. And yeah, this doesn't look like a case. Obviously, it looks kind of like a book. But that's the cool thing. It is a book that's, well, going to store my miniatures. And here they are. Well, obviously, this is just a few of them. So I will need to make some more books or make books a bit bigger. But yeah, obviously, great way of storing them. They sort of slot nicely into those little recesses. So they won't sort of move around when this thing is on the side. As you can obviously see, this is made from MDF, well, or wood. And yeah, this video, I'm going to show how I made this, where you can get the files from, and exactly the process of making your own storage boxes. But as you can see, this is why I've been using laser engravers now for a good few years. Absolutely love the sort of detail you can get with these, as well as obviously the fact they do cut sort of, well, in this case, 3mm wood. So the one I'm using is this, the Algolaser Alpha Mk2, 20-watt diode, which is pretty cool because it does mean it can cut through decently thick wood in sort of one pass. This is a little bit of a sort of a do-it-yourself one. I say do-it-yourself. It's only a few bits you need to actually attach. Comes in four main sort of bits, and then obviously the arm with the laser engraver on it. Really easy to put together. Again, this is one of these things, guys. I always sort of say, if I can do it, then honestly anyone can do it. Because yeah, as you all know, I'm not really that technically minded. It is a case of a few screws to get the four bits together, and then just a couple of wires that need attaching. I say nice, easy, simple instructions. So this really is sort of user friendly, beginner friendly, and yeah, it doesn't take you too long, and then it's job done. So say 20-watt diode, so it's a nice sort of strength to this one. Again, guys, whenever you're using these kind of things, take your own safety precautions. These does come with obviously the glasses, sort of protect your eyes. But yeah, again, guys, I'm not going to tell you every little thing you need to do, sort of health and safety. Yeah, you should have some sort of common sense. Good thing with this, obviously, it does have the stop button and the keys. This is something I absolutely love because obviously without the key in the thing, if I can get it in the right hole, that is, without the key, this thing won't do anything. So if you do have children in your house, yeah, take the key away, and then they can't do anything at all with this. So as I say, it didn't take too long at all to get set up. Lovely looking sort of sleek little design here, but works absolutely beautifully. I've got the honeycomb thing there, as you can see, just so well I don't burn into my table. It also comes with these clips, and this is something I've not had before on a laser engraver. I really love these because obviously the bits of wood I use always go for like 3mm. You can get them nice and dirt cheap, but sometimes they do warp. So having those little clips does keep it nice and flat, which is great. And the work area on this is nice and large at 400mm by 410, just probably one of the biggest I've used. This Algolaser Alpha Mk2 has a lovely touch screen on it, nice, decent size, and very responsive as well. Yeah, as soon as you click something, it goes on to obviously the next sort of menu, which is pretty cool. So there's no sort of delay there. And the other cool thing with this is obviously you can print things straight from the machine. So it doesn't need to be connected to, well, to anything really, which is pretty cool. There's lots of presets already in here. Plus you can mess about and make things yourself. There is a little drawing section on here as well. Obviously, I've looked on the USB bit, and well, there's no USB currently in there. But again, say it's just so cool. You can click, and yeah, it does things straight away. So I've not really tried out these other little bits, as obviously I wanted to make that book to sort of, well, to hold all my miniatures. But yeah, you can go mad and mess about with this thing without actually connecting it to a PC, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to leave links down below, guys, to where you can get hold of more details about this laser engraver I'm using, as well as this file I'm using. Again, this is where something I do need to sort of really sit down and start making my own designs. And funny enough, that's something I was going to chat with you guys about in another video, where I'm going to start making my own sort of, well, medieval buildings and stuff. Obviously, if you guys are interested in that, then that would be great. So the first thing it does is it goes around and it does the path of what it's going to cut out. And this is obviously a great way of making sure that you've got your bit of wood in the right place before setting the thing off and doing its job. I've split some of this footage up, so it does go reasonably fast. Well, it's up to you how fast the machine goes, because obviously you're the one who sets the parameters for speed and strength. But yeah, you'll see a few bits every now and then where I have sped up the footage just because I wanted to show you the laser engraver in use. So this one, to say, it's is a case of health and safety. Down to you guys to obviously be careful with these, because they are, well, I wouldn't say it's a toy, because obviously it does have a real laser in it. And I'm still flabbergasted that they let someone like me mess about with a laser. But again, it's health, safety. I've got this in a well ventilated area. And obviously, anytime I do go past this machine, I do wear the glasses just every now and then to obviously check on its progress. So initially, I did have it in my living room right next to a window, but the weather here in the UK has taken a turn. It is getting colder, it is getting wetter. So I took mine outside and managed to set it up in my little shed. And by little, I mean little shed. So apologies for the footage here, but I couldn't even get a light stand in there. Just about enough room for me to get a camera on a sort of tripod. So yeah, that is going really well out there, which is great. And it doesn't take too long to cut out and laser engrave the bits that I needed. So you'll see me use this laser engravers quite a bit. So they're so versatile in what you can make with these, as in you can make terrain bits, floor bits, walls, castles, and obviously books that well, can look after and store all those miniatures that I'm making. So with this, obviously it's a nice tight fit. I am using PVA glue here. There's a couple of occasions where I do actually use super glue, just because, well, I want things to stick quicker than they would with just PVA. But again, this is where say I really do need to sort of spend some time and have a go at making my own bits and pieces, because it really is easy to, well, to make your own things in this. There's no real sort of, it's not like having to use Blender for 3D things. It is nice and simple because you're basically cutting things out or putting patterns into things. So yes, I say this thing went together really, really well. I will leave links to where you can get this book. And obviously with these kind of things, you can sort of expand them, make them bigger, and basically change them and make them how you want. But I do love the overall sort of design of this. It's a nice sort of chunky looking book, and obviously a sort of medieval looking book, which obviously fits in really, really well with well, with the miniatures that are going to go inside this. So the ones that are going to go inside this are for Baron's War, so they are knights themselves, and that's why I thought this sort of book was very appropriate. So again, there are actually instructions with the file for this book, so it makes it again easy to put all the bits together. I did add a few extra bits. Obviously, these little bits, say the little cutouts, these are literally something like 0.2 millimeters bigger than the actual bases of my miniatures, so they do fit in nice and snug. Because I didn't want to put them in this, and then obviously lay this book on its side, and they all just fall about and roll about, and well, that's when you end up start losing weapons and the like. So I do love the hinges on this. Again, it's nice and simple. I love things that are simple because it means I can get my head around them. So yeah, nice easy hinges on this. But say the detail being able to cut out and laser engrave in this front cover. Yeah, I absolutely love it. I think it's come out really, really, really well. And I say it does sort of suit the miniatures that are going to be inside. So yeah, guys, don't forget check out all the other videos to see other things you can make with laser engravers. Because I'll have to admit, a laser engraver, when I first got one, I really didn't think I'd be doing much with it. But here I am now, about 3 years later. I think I've been using them for, and yeah, they really are versatile. And it's definitely one of those things that once you've got one, there's so many things you can do with it, and so many things, well, you didn't know you could do with it, but then you can. That makes sense. Anyway, it didn't take long to make the box all nice and ready. Obviously, again, this is where obviously everyone's different. Painting it, yeah, I didn't want to add too much color, but I did want to add a little bit of color. I thought about doing washes and things over this. So obviously it is wood, so you can stain it. But as you can see here, I'm just going straight over with some paint. I didn't really want to sort of prime it in any way because I wanted the bits that I didn't paint to still remain and look like, well, look like wood. So yeah, the normal sort of paints going on it really, really well. Obviously they do sort of sink in a little bit, but I still only did one coat of the paints going around this, and it seems to sort of, yeah, still remain looking the color it did. If you have been thinking about getting a laser engraver, now certainly is a good time with the big discounts that are currently on Algolaser. So this is the Alpha Mk2. So links down below. Click on them to find out more details. But yeah, big savings at the moment. So if you've ever been on the fence about getting one, yeah, I would highly recommend getting one. Well, now. So last couple of colours just to go on this. Again, this is where I always think in my head, don't do too many colours. And then obviously I think, oh no, just do one more for another little bit. But yeah, this is the last colour I did, and then I sort of stepped away. Otherwise, I'd have made this look a bit too colourful. Oh yeah, I did do a little bit of white around the edge of the sign as well. And there we go. It's all nice and complete. And as I say, my little miniatures slot into it perfectly. But you see, this is the kind of thing when you do make these things with the laser engravers, you can rescale things. So I could make these books a bit bigger, a bit deeper, and yeah, a whole variety of different looking books to go on, well, the bookshelf, which would be pretty cool as a nice way of storing all your miniatures and keeping them all together, which is pretty cool. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to click on the links down below. You all take care. Like, share, subscribe, leave comments. Bye now.